Welcome to Work in Progress, Conversations with Creators. I'm your host, Logan Roy Speitman. On today's program, I have with me Jackson Murrieta, an Albuquerque native who's in the Broadway musical Book of Mormon, which is coming to Popejoy. We had a great conversation, and I hope that you enjoy.
If you enjoy our podcast, please like and subscribe and consider becoming a digital subscriber to the Albuquerque Journal to help us bring you more content like this. You can find this episode and all of our podcasts on the Albuquerque Journal website, abqjournal.com, as well as YouTube, iTunes, and Spotify. See the show notes for a discount code on a digital subscription. Thank you for supporting the Albuquerque Journal, New Mexico's leading news.
So Jackson, thanks for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be here.
Yeah, well, we're excited. You're coming into town with Book of Mormon. So, and you're an Albuquerque native, is that right?
Yes, I am. It's so awesome to be on a show that actually tours through my hometown. When I first got the job and saw the cities that we were going to, I called my parents, and it's just such an awesome homecoming experience. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, what was it like for you growing up? Were you doing a lot of theater when you were a kid? And
Yeah, actually, as a kid, I did a lot of theater. I always was singing and dancing, and that was just something that was very natural to me as a kid. And a bunch of my friends did theater in New Mexico, and it came to a point where they were like, okay, you need to start doing it with us. So when I was about like 7 years old, I auditioned for my first show, which was Wizard of Oz. I was a munchkin and a flying monkey, and I've been doing
wow,
theater ever since.
that's fantastic. Yeah. So and we'll get back to more of that because I think it's really interesting. But let's talk a little bit about Book of Mormon, and what's your role in Book of Mormon?
Yeah, so currently I'm in the ensemble of Book of Mormon.
So there's a lot of singing and dancing, right, involved.
Yes, absolutely. Lots of high energy singing and dancing. The show is such a great testament to musical theater. There's so many like memorable moments in it, so it's such a blessing to be a part of such a fun show.
Yeah. I'm always amazed at what you all can do when I see any kind of Broadway musical, and especially, one with that's so high energy. Because I think like I'd be out of breath, like if I'm doing all that movement and jumping around, like how can I also sing? Like how do you do
No,
that?
totally. I mean, it definitely is a test to the stamina of performers all around, and some nights it's definitely easier than others, but like anything, singing and dancing, it's you're an athlete and you have to train like that. So I still find myself having to be like, okay, let me warm up. Let me make sure I'm taking care of my body properly. Let me make sure I'm energizing right so that I have the stamina to be able to do the show. Otherwise, like you said, you're going to be huffing and puffing through the 2.5 hour show. So.
And you're training your body, you're training your voice, you're training your breath, I
Absolutely.
guess.
Yeah, the first thing actually that I told my parents after being on tour for a little bit is I was like, 8 shows a week is very hard. It's so much harder than I thought it would be. And so there definitely is a learning curve to like, how do I work out properly so that I am building the foundation and the muscles to use during the show, but I'm also not exhausting myself that I won't be able to do my job at night.
Yeah. And how long have you been on tour now?
I've been on tour since July, so about like 9 months-ish.
Does it get easier as you go on?
There are definitely moments where it's like, okay, yeah, I kind of feel the groove, and the show definitely is more comfortable for me now. Obviously, that I've just been doing it for so long. I think I've hit over like 160 performances of it. So there's
Yeah.
definitely a lot that comes with the repetition of the show, but every night poses unique and different challenges. It's live theater, so there's always something going on, which makes it exciting, but it also, you have to be on your toes.
Like, what's an example of something that kind of, I don't know, got you off your toes or how you had to be on your toes?
Well, like I said, it's live theater, so we're dealing with different audiences every night. So sometimes audiences will react different ways to certain things. Sometimes they'll laugh at different jokes or find different moments funnier than others. And so we as performers have to be ready for that and have to kind of create that relationship with the audience as we're doing this show so that we are keeping that storyline going, but we're also allowing for the reactions and variety that comes with different audiences.
Yeah, no, that makes sense to pause for laughs and all, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. No, that's really cool. Were you a fan of Book of Mormon before you, joined the cast?
Absolutely. As a kid, some of the songs are such like musical theater staples. So I had grown up hearing the soundtrack and I had seen the show a few times before and have loved it, thought it was hilarious. And obviously, based on my look, I look very Mormon like. So anytime people see me and know I'm an actor, they're like, oh, you should be in Book of Mormon. And it's been such a dream show. So getting now to be able to be a part of it and perform that material every night is truly just so awesome and it fulfills me so much.
I always wonder 'cause I've known a few Mormon people in my life, and they do tend to, like, I don't know what it is, it's like, you know, you tend to be kinda good looking and you smile a lot, you have I don't know, you know, maybe it's I mean, and you're not Mormon, I take
No,
it.
no, I myself am not Mormon.
Yeah, but I don't know what it is. You know, maybe it's the fact that they don't do anything unhealthy, maybe.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know.
But, no, it's exciting, and, I think for people that I mean, a lot of people know it, obviously, and, you know, but anyone who doesn't, who may be listening, what would you want people to know about the musical?
Yeah, I mean, the show, just to kind of like talk about the accolades of it to begin with, it is the 11th longest running show in Broadway history. So if that doesn't say something, then I mean, audiences have loved it and continue to love it. So actually, it's this show's 15th year anniversary, which is so cool too, to be a part of it
Yeah,
now. But it is an award-winning musical. It has 9 Tony Awards, including Best Musical. It's from the creators of South Park, so if you're into that sort of humor, like, you are bound to have a great night at the theater full of laughs, great singing, great theater just in general, and, a little bit about the show itself. It's about 2 mismatched Mormons who go on the adventure of a lifetime to spread the good word, and yeah, that's all kind of I have to say about the show, and if that intrigues you, I encourage you to come see the show and see what it's all about.
yeah, I think that's good, and I think it's good that, you know, if people don't know, we won't give away anything, that happens, but that should be, probably enough, I think, to get people, to come out. And, yeah, the music is great. What's your favorite song?
Ooh, see, anytime someone asks me that, it is so hard to choose because
It's a bad question, sorry.
there's truly so many great songs in the musical, and I myself finding different moments every night of I'm like, "Oh, wait, I really love this song and I love this part in this song." And then another night I can be like, "Wait, this is so fun. I love this." And that's a great thing about having such good material is that like all the songs are great. And so it's really hard for me to choose a favorite.
Sure, that's fair, you know, do you feel like you've become very close with the whole cast as you've been touring?
Absolutely. Yeah. It it becomes a family. You're truly living and working alongside such talented, kind, great people that in doing the work that we do, just being on stage with each other every night, you grow close with your coworkers, but also living and traveling the country with them. I think over the tour itself, we're covering like 50 something cities and like 26 states, which is a lot of traveling. We're on tour for about a year. So you truly grow close with these people. And I'm grateful to be able to call them like my family now.
Yeah, yeah. How long has it been since you lived in Albuquerque?
In Albuquerque, I left Albuquerque in 2020 when I graduated from high school. I went to college out of state. And then I haven't
You went
lived.
to Pepperdine, I think?
Yeah, I went to Pepperdine in California. So I moved from there for college and then I lived and worked in California for a little bit right after college, and after that, I moved straight to New York, and then from New York, I booked this show, and I've been on it ever since, but I've come
Right.
back in between the little breaks that I have, so I've been able to come back home and see friends and family and all that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, like, do you miss it sometimes? What do you miss about it when you if you because I imagine there's gonna be something that you miss.
Absolutely. I mean, the one thing I miss the most is, like, home-cooked meals. Like, I really miss the food that New Mexico has to offer, and obviously being around, like, my friends and family back home, I miss a lot, and there are certain things and places and stuff that comes to me at times during tour where I'm like, "Oh, I could really go for some Dion's pizza," or, like, something like
Yeah,
that,
yeah,
So
yeah,
there's just
yeah.
different aspects that I miss, but every time I come home, I try to get my fix of everything while I can.
No, that's great. I heard that there was a new place in New York. A friend was telling me they opened up like a New Mexican restaurant. I can't remember the
Oh,
name of it,
really?
but yeah,
Wait,
I'll
that's
try to
so awesome. I'll have to look into that.
yeah, if I find it, I'll email you later.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
send it my way.
because I heard it was pretty good. I haven't been, but anyway, no, yeah. What do you when you think about your life in the future, 5 years from now, let's say, um, uh, where do you see yourself, or where would you? What would be like a ideal? I guess you want to stick with musical theater, I imagine.
Yeah. Yeah, so I
And
mean,
are
in
there
the
are there cer are there certain roles or certain, that you kind of aspire to?
Oh, that's a great question. It's always so hard because, especially with musical theater, there's always new works coming out and new things in development. And so I find myself seeing shows and I'm like, oh, I would really love to be a part of that. And then the next year when another show comes out, I'm like, wait, I'd love to be a part of that. A dream show for me right now is probably like Stranger Things on Broadway. I saw it
Mm.
before I left for tour and it was so cool. And the acting was phenomenal, and I would love to be a part of that sometime, some way. But yeah, 5 years in the future, I see myself still living in New York, probably working as an actor and building my life that way, whether that be continuing touring or working on Broadway or in any capacity. I truly love musical theater and doing that work, but I also love like screen acting and film and TV and all that stuff. So I'd love to branch out into that as well. But yeah, I'm truly just open to the possibilities. This industry moves so fast that you kind of can't really plan for anything, which is both scary and exciting. So I try to live with the excitement of it rather than the fear of like, I don't know what's coming next.
Right, right. Well, that it seems like you have a good attitude, and you're just, being open to things is always good, I think, you know?
For sure.
Yeah. Um, you seem like a extroverted person. Is that true, or are you, like, performing all the time?
No, that's a very good assessment. Yeah, I am very extroverted. I have been ever since I was a kid.
Yeah, and, because it's interesting, sometimes I'll talk to even, like, musical theater people that aren't, like, they do it on stage, but then performers aren't always, but I do think it probably helps, I'd
For
imagine.
sure. No, and there are times where I find myself leaning into a more introverted side. It's hard when you're on stage and you are forced, not necessarily forced, but like your job is to perform and act in front of a lot of people and you feel like you just have eyes on you all the time. And so after when it's time for like the come down of that, sometimes you find yourself being like, "Oh, I really just want to like stay inside and watch a movie and not talk to anyone." And that's
Yeah.
totally fine too. But then sometimes you find like, "Oh, I love the audience and I loved interacting with people and I could just talk all night and stay up all night." So it's interesting because you find yourself finding the balance of like, okay, my job is literally performing for people and how do I feel like I'm not doing that in my everyday life?
Yeah, yeah. Um, and, getting back to kinda when you were growing up here, were there certain, teachers or mentors that you had who were important for your development?
Absolutely, yeah. As a young kid, I started taking voice lessons with my voice teacher, Daniela Duell. She is so fantastic. She doesn't live in New Mexico anymore, but it was so cool because she actually got to see me on this tour, and seeing her just brought back so many memories of being in New Mexico, being in my house, taking voice lessons, and trying to figure out like where my path was going to go. She helped me with auditions in high school, auditions in for colleges, and now she's kind of getting to see me perform in this professional capacity. And so there's teachers like that. There was my theater teacher in high school, Gail Nadel. She was so fantastic in producing such high caliber shows that really allowed me to kind of expand my performing aspect in New Mexico, and that really also allowed me to grow as an actor and figure out that this was something I really wanted to do with my life. And so it's so cool seeing how, like, these people from New Mexico truly have touched me and impacted me as an actor, and that has allowed me to be where I am today. I mean, there's still times today where I'm working on the show or auditions or anything like that, and I find myself thinking back to things that people from New Mexico have told me, have taught me, and you just carry that stuff with you, and it's so cool to say that, like, all these people have touched me in a way that allows me to do what I love to do.
Oh, that's beautiful, and it's great that you got to actually reconnect with your voice teacher who helped you so much that she got to see you
Yeah, it was
on the
such a
tour.
cool experience, and her seeing me, it made me so emotional because I just pictured back to little me, like, struggling to sing certain songs, and then just seeing how far she impacted me to come. It was just a great experience.
Yeah, and you said that, you just said that you sometimes think back to, like, advice that you've gotten in the past
Absolutely,
from
yeah.
people. Is there anything that springs to mind that you think would be good to share with maybe, young people on the come up themselves who are, um, wanting to, whether to do
Yeah.
Broadway or to do any kind of performance?
Absolutely, yeah. I think one thing that's always stuck with me, and this comes from my dad specifically, but it comes from a lot of people, I think, is that truly find what you're passionate about in life and follow that. I think it's not always going to be easy. My life certainly hasn't been. And being a struggling actor in New York, trying to get a job is very difficult. But if you have the passion and the drive, your hard work will be rewarded. It might not be at the times that you think it should be, but it will happen, and your time will come where 1,000 no's turn into one yes, and your life changes from there. So I think that's probably the biggest piece of advice I could give. I think also, like, never take a no personally, take it more as a redirection into this is a no because something else is waiting down the line. I mean, I in college thought this was a dream show, really wanted to be a part of it, didn't know when my time would come. And actually, I sang one of the songs from the show in college just as a song to work on. And now I get to perform that material every night. I mean, like, who would have thought? So it's truly like
Yeah.
follow your passion and never give up, and your hard work will pay off.
Amazing. Well, I feel like that might be a good point to end here, but, yeah, thank you so much. It's been such a pleasure speaking with you.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for taking the time and sit down with me and talk through all this. It's so exciting to be able to not only come back to New Mexico and perform, but get to talk with people about my experiences.